Whatever, welcome back to Breslov Efrat here at Shira David Baruch Hashem. It's a beautiful day here in Eretz Yisrael. It's so special to be here. Baruch Hashem. Please let us never take it for granted that we're here. Really, it's another. Every day is another present. It's really a present from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. All right, and we learned how HaKadosh Baruch Hu enjoys that we're here, and He looks at Eretz Yisrael and He infuses it with more kedusha, all the beautiful things. Baruch Hashem.
Thank you. No Jews were killed yet yesterday.
Yeah.
That I know of.
Yeah, Baruch Hashem.
Did something happen?
No, said no Jews were killed. That's something that happened.
Baruch Hashem. Baruch
Thank you,
Hashem.
God. Nothing.
No, nothing. Nothing's good. Yeah, everyone was safe yesterday.
You
No, you just say everyone was safe yesterday. That's better.
that.
You say it in the better.
Yeah.
Everyone was safe yesterday. Yeah, okay. So we're learning Hilchas Birchas Hamazon, the laws of benching. We're in Halacha Daled, and today we're up to Yud Zayin. So those that are looking on inside, it's Halacha 4, and Yud Zayin is 17. Okay? We're going to continue today. Here we go. With Siyata Deshmaya, of course. V'zeh b'chinas hachaloim paroi sheva parois toivos v'sheva parois rois. Like Pharaoh had last week's parsha, the famous dreams of Pharaoh, and no one was able to interpret them, right? And he had a very strange dream. There were 7 very healthy cows, and there were 7 scrawny cows. I guess you could say, right? They were scrawny. Okay, emaciated. There we go. Shehem b'chinas sheva shnei hasova, right? V'sheva shnei harov, and that's what was connected. What Yosef interpreted to be the 7 years of plenty and the 7 years of famine. V'zeh b'chinas tavas mammon shekol ma sheyesh lo yoser choser lo yoser. As we were learning yesterday. The more if a person is only involved in materialism, the more materialism he amasses, the more he wants. And he never has enough, right? V'zeh ma sheroa sheva parois berios v'toivos. Dainu b'chinas sheva shnei hasova. Shova, right? This is all the good that Hashem gives to the wealthy people, right? Healthy, wealthy, and well-fed, and good. And then those other 7 that came up after them, so those 7 scrawny cows consumed, which is a strange thing because cows don't usually eat cows, right? The whole dream was very bizarre, right? Right? Cows, they don't eat meat, right?
They eat grass.
Right? If you told me they were lions, they were cows. Sheva parois rois heim b'chinas sheva shnei ro. Those are the 7 scrawny cows, the emaciated ones, like you said, Rab Shalom, right? Those were the years of famine. Again, they didn't have anything to eat. Famine, right? The healthy ones were the years of plenty. Hashem gives them plenty to eat. Everything's good. The famine, emaciated. Shehu b'chinas tavis mammon shu roiv tamid livloya mammon habe. And that's like the guy that has his tavis mammon. He's always looking for more money. He's always looking to swallow up more money. See how Rav Nosson does? It's amazing. He takes the cow, swallowing up the other cows. This guy that has taivas mammon, he's trying to swallow up more money. Shehem boyalim es hasheva shnei hashava es kol hatoivos v'ashira shenasan Hashem yisbarach. He eats up everything that Hashem gave him. That's how most people are. They don't stop to think how much I have. It's always what I don't have, how much I need more, right? You ever realize that? People in general, they focus on what they don't have. They don't focus on what they do have. If I need this, then I'll be happy. But what about all that you have? No, I need more. It's amazing, right?
More than what I don't know that I have.
And the more the guy gets, the more he's lacking. Because I should really have more. I should have much more. This is a good one. Right? The more you have, the more you have to worry about. Right? Right? The more you have, the more you have to worry about. Right? If you don't have the thing, you don't have to worry about it.
See, isn't that weird? Because if I don't have enough, I worry. And I have too much, then I worry.
Yeah.
Good to know God. It's good to know Hashem.
Uh-huh. V'yesh loy dagas v'yisurin kilu hu ani mamash. And then the person, in his mind, he feels that he's impoverished. But he's got a lot. But in his mind, he feels he doesn't have anything. B'chinas v'tablena sheva paros harois v'tavoina el kirbena v'loy noida kibou el kirbena u'mareim ra kasher batchila. So it's very strange. These scrawny, emaciated cows ate up these healthy cows. They had a good meal. They had a very good meal. But you couldn't see on them that they ate anything. That's like the 7 scrawny cows, right? Right? This is maybe you can understand like this. You know, sometimes the person had a good meal, right? A very good meal, and then a couple of hours later, it's like I didn't eat anything. Strange, right? But you just ate a good meal. Where is it? It's gone. And he's just as worried as he was before. But he had all that stuff. He got everything he needed. But I still have now the new worries. I have more worries. Because a half of his time he's never going to be satisfied with. Right? He's never going to be satisfied with that. He always wants more and more. And he'll never be satisfied with all the wealth that he amasses. Because he always needs more. I mean, you see this in these wealthy people, right? These great, they always going out, they need more money. I need another billion. For what?
What does Musk need any more money for?
I don't know what any of these guys need more money for.
But he at least invents things, and he creates a lot of.
I understand, but I'm saying, no, but what's more driving him? Right. I need more money.
Right.
I need more money. What's he going to do with it?
Power. He must be politician.
But underlined is money.
Yeah. Okay.
They say money is power, right? They believe that.
Okay.
Right? They believe that, right?
Well, here on earth, it
But we're
is.
going to talk about that. That people always they always respect a wealthy person. Right? If a wealthy person says something, they'll listen. If a poor person says something, they're not interested.
High class means money.
High class, right.
It means nothing, but it means money.
Right? They'll ask these sports players what they think in politics and this, and they'll give big talk.
Yeah.
They don't know.
I
They don't know the
but-
first thing. But there could be a poor guy that really understands the politics, and no one wants to listen to him, but he has no money. Yeah. Ki taivis maman sheloi mashe misave bechol pam yoyse ze b'leya es kol hashiris. Because his taiva swallows up all of his money, even though he has it. But it's in his mind, he doesn't have nothing.
Right.
He doesn't have anything. So he's a poor guy. Ad asher lo neder kol tuv hashira shaloi ki nivla v'nishkach hakol ayidei tavas mammon shaloi meitava b'chol pam yosef yosef. And therefore he wants more and more and more. Now the Rebbe says like this: V'atikon ayidei Yosef shu b'chinas hatzadik shebedor shika tikon tavas mammon al yodei. The main way to fix the tavas mammon, we said yesterday, is through the tzaddik. So now Rav Nosson is showing you. Yosef was the one that was able to figure out what to do. Hu naisen eitzel lahashirim balei amammon sheinotzlu mi sheva shnei harov mirav and tavas mammon ayedei tzedakah. Give your tzedakah. Give tzedakah. If you give tzedakah, that's what you have, right? It's not because people think that the money they have in the bank is what they have. But really, it's the opposite. It's what you give for tzedakah, that's what's really yours. What you have in the bank is not yours. Yeah, okay, it has your name next to it. Okay, they make you believe it's yours. But what's in the real world, in the next world, when the person comes there, what he gave for tzedakah, that's what he has when he really needs it. That's when we really need it. True ikar shriras tavas mammon. Right, the Rabbeinu writes in lesson 13. Pare made pekidim al oretz sheyase mimunim hainu gaboy tzedakah shehem mumanim lepakeach al aniyim v'chimesh es eretz Mitzrayim. And what he did was he set up people around Egypt in order to amass the grains and everything, so they could start to collect them. Right? V'chimesh zeh b'china tzedakah hashiura chamesh. You have to give a fifth. Look at that! Isn't that nice? Why is it a fifth? Because on tzedakah you give a fifth. That's what you're supposed to give. As the Gemara says in Kesubis, Hamevazves al Yevazves Yosem Mechaimesh. You're giving money for tzedakah, don't give out more than a fifth. Now again, if a person wants to, if he has plenty of money and he wants to give more, of course he can give more. But that's what the requirement is. Okay? That's the requirement. And that's why he Pare said V'haya Lawrence, the what do you call it? The grains will be as a pikadon, as a deposit. How do you want to say the pikadon? The deposit. It'll be deposited, right? Shalom. We use the word lehafkit to deposit, right? So it'd be deposited, right? To be deposited. Ki ikar pikadon u'shmiras hamaman hu al yedei tzedakah, because the way you can have the pikadon and the shmira is through tzedakah. Bebechinas avoisei gonzu lamata ba'olam hazeh. They had their treasure down here, right? Gonzu lamata v'ani gonazti. And I did my tzedakah lamala, and they would have it ba'olam haba. Shabra v'sein z'chan l'bracha melech maman chaser v'zeh v'loi tikras ha'oretz b'rov sheloi tizgaber ravan tavas maman shekaireses v'ikereses adam chas v'shalom. Because the tithe of mammon rips a person away. He takes him away from his family. Right? How many people don't come home at night? They don't spend any time with their families at all. Those precious years when the kids are young, they don't spend time because they're in the office. They're in the office, right? Right? We all know that, right? We may have been guilty of those things too, right? Rabbi Nachman writes in lesson 23, through tzedakah, you are protected from the taiva of mammon. Because when you realize, I'm giving, Hashem, you gave me the money, and I'm giving away this money. Isn't that so it's a special thing? What's the matter, David?
No, let's look at it.
Oh, you lost the page?
Yeah, it got behind the page.
Okay. V'zeh v'yitein oichel ba'orim v'shamru oichel sedei ha'ir asher sivivaisel v'nosam b'soicha. By Yosef Atzadik it says v'yitein oichel ba'orim. And he put the grains in the cities. V'shamru oichel sedei ha'ir, and he was watching the from the fields of the city. Asher sivivaisel nosam b'soicha. And he put everything in the storehouses. Yosef made tremendous storehouses. I guess silos, right? Silos. He made silos in order to protect the grain, so the grain should stay good. I knew. Shenosan achila v'ashefa shel kol ha'ir v'ir la'aniei oisam ha'ir ki aniei irecha koidmin la'ani ha'ir acheres. Okay, and then that's the laws of tzedakah, right? In other words, if you have poor people in your city, you have to make sure to give the people in your city before you worry about another city. You have to take care first your city, then you give the tzedakah to the next city. But you can't have poor people in your city and you're giving over to other people. You understand the difference? We're required to take care of our people. And notice that what he put within Besoicha, in that city. He put that together. Nasan v'chelik b'soicha iyeh la'ani oisam ha'iyeh v'kol echad v'shefa b'sivaiseh. And then he put in each and every single one, so everyone would have what they needed. A silo, maybe he put a silo in each city, so everyone would have what they need during the years of famine. Zesh Perish Rashi. Kol ha'eretz ma'amedes is watched, Peireseha v'noisnin me'ofa oretz l'soicha u'mamedes Peireseha ki oni hu b'chinas offer. How do you like that? Oni is offer. An oni, a poor person, is like dirt. He feels so low. He feels downtrodden, like offer. Ki mimuna ad offer k'meishe kosa mikimi me'offer do. We said in the Halachos. Mikimi me'offer do. Lift me up from the me'offer dal, the impoverished. Dal is a very impoverished person from the offer. Ukishirayt adam lishmar shirosay shalay yishlu to all of sheva shnei rav. Here's a secret. Here, you want to see the secret? Here, I'm not giving you a secret now. If you want to watch your money, so you'll have your money on those rainy days, as they say, right? What do? Tzarich lite me'offer aretz l'sleicha shirusay. Put some dirt into your wealth. Put a little bit of dirt into your wealth. What does that mean? Dahainu zichus v'koyach hatzedakah shenoisen laniyim shein b'chinas offer. In other words, mix a little dirt into your money. That'll protect your money. It's a preservative. The dirt is a preservative for money.
What do you mean by that?
The aniyim, take from your money, give some money to the poor people, which are like the offer, the dirt. They're like that, and then that's how you're protecting your money. We give charity. V'zeh ma'amech v'shoyma hashira she'is kayim v'lo yichla al yedei sheva shnei harav shehu tai v'smamen shemechala chayav v'ashirosai chas v'sholem. Because not only can it take away a person's life, right? The mamash can take away a person's life. He feels so dependent on his money.
He's become dirt. How
many people that in the Depression, they lost their money and they jumped out of the windows? Right? They were in the office buildings during the Depression, right? They were jumping out like flies. They were jumping out of the window. Had no money. I got to finish. Where do they live? It's amazing. So what's the answer? If you have money, Baruch Hashem, if you have money, give money from your money, give to aniyim, give to the poor people. If you give to the poor people, that'll protect your money. Put a little bit of offer into your ashiras, and that'll be the protection. That's what Yosef said to his brothers. Meraglim atem. Leroy says, Ervas ha'oretz bosem. Wow. Isn't that strange what Yosef did? Yosef said to the brothers, hey, you guys are spies. Why did he say that? Well, there's many explanations. Why? Because they came in from all different entrances. right? They all came from different entrances. Why did they come in? Because they were looking for Yosef. They thought he may have been down in Mitzrayim. They sold him because if you remember, they sold him to the Ishmaelim, right? They were going down to Mitzrayim. So they figured maybe if we all go in, now we're going down to Egypt, we have an opportunity. Our father sent us down to Egypt, right? Now, maybe we have an opportunity to find him. So they said, okay, instead of us all going in one gate, we'll scatter in many entrances. We'll all go in different entrances, and we'll look around in those areas to see if we can find Yosef. Interesting, right? So he looked at them and he said, you guys are spies. He came to see the Erev Ha'aretz. Interesting lashon, right? Erev Ha'aretz. Right? And Mitzrayim is called Erev Ha'aretz, right? Yeah. V'isa sheramaz lahem pigama meraglim shepogmu be'eretz Yisrael. He was already hinting to them for the 10 spies, the spies that went out to spy. He was already hinting them that they were spies, or you guys are gonna be spies. Again, we said that the tzaddik is responsible for the Kiddush of Eretz Yisrael because he's responsible for all the people. Hey, you made a pagam in my covenant. Right? They made it, Yosef's the tzaddik. And they were damaging his honor. They weren't honoring him. Did they honor Yosef? They sold him, they threw him in a pit. They threw him in a pit, they sold him. They don't think that's not honoring the tzaddik. They argued with him and they sold him down to Mitzrayim. He says to them, so you guys are spies. If you made a pagam in the tzaddik, it's like making a pagam in Eretz Yisrael. Because the tzaddik and Eretz Yisrael is one of the same. Shekol Kidushosai Nimshach Me'atzadik, okay, Lirois as Ervas Arts Bosem, Ervas Arts Loshen Cherba Busha. Right? And the Erva, the unclothed part, right, is in Loshen of Cherba, of embarrassment, and right, and disgrace and embarrassment. Heipach is Paris. Shalatzadik, which is the opposite of the asparis of the tzaddik shezoichin, lirois oisai misham ikar kedushas Eretz Yisrael. That's the main kedusha of Eretz Yisrael. Sheheim pogmu b'chvoid hatzadik shu Yosef v'leirotzu lirois yofyoi v'tifartai. They didn't want to see Yosef hatzadik's beauty and his splendor. Other Rabbaboy lirois ervas haaretz. You guys came to see the ervas haaretz. Shu heipach hisparus amalehem shemachma zeh hisgaber aleim sheva shnei arav, and that's why the famine came. Because again, if you pay all the bracha we said comes from Eretz Yisrael, which is dependent on the tzaddik, right? Which is dependent on HaKadosh, because the tzaddik is one that gathers all Jews together. When he gathers all Jews together, and then they're in Eretz Yisrael, and then Hashem is Tamed Einei, and Hashem Lakecha Ba Mereitz Shana, Hashem is looking at it, makes more kedusha, right? U bechinas tavis moment. Shekol zeh nimtzah begam amaraglim begam Eretz Yisrael u begam kavod tzaddik, which is again connected to the begam of the tzaddik, the blemish in the tzaddik, the blemish in Eretz Yisrael. So that's why Yosef tzaddik said to them, "Hey, you guys blemished me. And because you made a blemish with me, therefore I'm saying that you are meraglim because that's what you guys are going to do, and they're going to make a blemish on Eretz Yisrael, which is one of the same." Interesting connection, right? And then when Yaakov Avinu heard, when they came back to Yaakov, and they gave him the report, well, we went down to Egypt, and we met this man, and this man said that we were spies. So what did Yaakov say? Yaakov understood already what was going on. He understood. Yaakov, when they told him that this man said that you were spies, it's very strange. They were just brothers. Why would they say they're spies? So Yaakov understood. Oh, something to do with Yosef because they had a pagam in the covet of Yosef. Therefore, they're being now accused of meraglim. Yaakov didn't even know that it was Yosef, but he understood that if they're being accused now, that they're meraglim, that they're spies, they're only being accused of spies because they tarnished the image of Yosef. Because they tarnished his image, therefore now it's mida keneged mida. Now you're getting called spies. Al kein amalehem v'chesef mishna k'chu biyadchem. So he said, okay, give them double money. Bring them back more money. Because again, you have taivas mammon. How do you fix that? Give more money out. Give more money. Kesef Mishnah zeh bechinas shefa kvula shetziva lehem lahamshich shefa kvula hanimshach me'eretz Yisrael, because Eretz Yisrael has all the shefa, right? We said that, right? Eretz Yisrael has all the bounty and all the bracha of the entire world comes from Eretz Yisrael. So he said, bring him more money. He wants, he gave them back their money, remember? So Yaakov said, double the money. Mishnah, give them double money. Now that's a Yud Ches. Now let's go to Yud Ches. V'zeh b'chinas tzedakah shenaistem b'Chanukah b'shvil l'sakein taivas momon u'lahamshach b'chinas shefa kfula hanimshach me'eretz Yisrael shemisham mikor habracha. Because if you want to connect to the double bracha that there is in Eretz Yisrael, how do you connect to it? By giving tzedakah. You give tzedakah, you can connect to the bracha of Eretz Yisrael. Shezeh bechinas hashemen shel Chanukah bechinas v'shemen al roishcha al yechsa. The shemen, what's that, Yossi?
No, I'm looking. First of all, it's incredible that you're up to this.
No, we were learning all Chanukah, all Chanukah.
I know, but now you're learning Parsha.
Yeah, now we're in the Parsha. At
the same time.
It's amazing. You can't. It's amazing, Yossi. Yeah. Baruch Hashem. Okay. Al Yechsar, it's not going to be lacking. Al Yechsar, it won't stop. It doesn't stop. Dainu she'ein shom shum chisron bechinas tzipachas Hashemen loy techsar. The tzipachas Hashemen will not empty. They keep pouring the oil. It keeps going. Ki Hashemen hu bechinas moichin bechinas shemen mishchas kodesh, to say that the idea of the shemen is like the mind. And the mind can accept more and more kedusha, more and more Torah, more and more. It can keep giving out more and more. And if the person has the right mayach and the right das, then he's not lacking anything. How do you know that? Because it says, das kanisa ma chasarta. If you have das, then what are you lacking? If you know, in other words, what's das? Knowing Hashem. And if you have das, that you know everything I have is from Hashem, and Hashem is giving me everything that I possibly need, so then what am I lacking? If I needed more, Hashem would give me more. Obviously, I don't need more, because if I needed more, He would have given me more. So then the person's not lacking anything if he has das. Isn't that a nice idea?
Yes.
Have you heard that before, Yossi? Das kanisa ma chasarta?
No.
Never heard that. It's a good thing you came today, right?
Yeah.
You heard that, right? If you have das, you're not lacking anything, right? Okay. V'zeh ba'atzmei bechinas hanei shel Chanukah shenishlach brocha ma'at hashemen, that they had a little bit of oil, shedolak shmeini yamim, that it lasted for 8 days. Haine bechinas brocha v'shefa kfula nimshach me'eretz Yisrael, comes from Eretz Yisrael. Ki b'Chanukah anu oiskim lahamshach kedusha Yisrael. On Chanukah we are working to draw the kedusha of Eretz Yisrael. Isn't that so nice? Again, that was the only holiday that we have that actually happened in Eretz Yisrael. Chanukah happened in Eretz Yisrael. All the other things were outside of Eretz Yisrael. This was inside Eretz Yisrael. Okay. Now let's go to Yutes. V'zeo shnesayim yamim apare. Oh, vayimi kate shnesayim yamim apare chayla. Okay, Pari had his dream. Mikates, zeh bechinas taivas mammon, bechinas kates some lachaishech. How do you like that? Mikates is the idea of kate some lachoshev. Do zuma the dahava, that is the impurity of gold. So why the Isa Bezoya in the Parshas Hanal, Hainu Taivas Mama Chu Bechinas Choshech Anpin Chashuchin, it's like dark faced. A person is like a dark face. Are you okay? Why don't you drink something?
Okay.
Don't talk to kids. If you make him answer.
Oh yeah.
Just,
Okay. Mara Shechaira and Atzvus, which is connected to Mara Shechaira, right? The melancholiness and depression. Bechinas Mar benechose Mar bedaga. The more you have, the more you have to worry about. Isn't that true, Yossi? Huh?
yeah, from the way I'm looking at incredible.
All these things, right? It's so true. Mar benechose Mar bedaga. Right? If the person doesn't have the thing, he doesn't have to worry about it. Now he has some more things. He has to have to worry about those things. The less he has, the less he has to worry about.
But it was just before we said that he's worrying just like a poor person. So whatever the way is, he's going to be worried. The poor is worried.
Right, but if you das kanisa mal chasarta, if the person has das and he understands that everything he has is from Hashem, he's not going to be worried. This guy.
Not only that, not only the more you have, the more work you have, but the more you have, the less you feel like you have because you need
more.
Yeah.
You need more. It's a vicious cycle.
It's a sickness.
It's a vicious cycle. Yes.
These cows were being eaten, and it didn't matter how much they ate.
Yeah, and it was strange that cows were eating cows. That's very
Cows were eating
strange,
cows. You
right?
think the guy would get a little fat?
No, Yossi, but cows eating cows? That's strange, right? Cows don't usually eat cows.
That's true.
Right? Yeah, okay. See how silly it is? The whole dream was so silly, right? They say it's like a rat race, right? Yeah, ki yesh loy b'chol pam chesroinus Yosef. The more I need more. I gotta have more. My neighbor has this, and he has that. I need to have that too. I need it. Lesson 23, we quoted it before. V'zeh shenasayim yomim. Zeh bechinas pagamam raglim shenema bohem yoim l'shona. Right? What happened with the meraglim? They went out for 40 days. So Hashem said it's going to be one day, a year for a day. A year for a day. Isn't that amazing? Every day that they went out and they came back and they spoke Lashon Hara on Eretz Yisrael, Hashem said it'll be one day. Each day that you were gone is going to be another year. K'moishe Perish Rabbeinu Zechreinu Levracha, in lesson Siman Nandalit is 54. Ki al yedei pegam maraglim dahainu pegam Eretz Yisrael misham nimshach taivas mammon. That's where the taiva of mammon comes from. Ki amammon nikra regel k'ma'isha kasvar b'nei zonim levracha bechinas ve'eskol hayakum asher beragleihem zem ma'mayna. The ragleihem, the feet, are considered money. He's going to explain now. V'al kain kol elu hameshukim b'taivas mammon nikroim meraglim. Anyone that's involved in amassing more wealth, right? That's has the taiva of wealth. That person is called a spy. Ki noisnim tamid lemerachokim u'meraglim v'shoititim b'chol haaretz b'shvil mammon. Because he's always traveling around and he's investigating different things in different places where he can make more money. So he's spying out to make more money. Amazing. And they don't believe that Hashem can give them their parnasa where they are without tremendous toil. Which Hashem can, of course. Okay, we have to do our ishtadlus, of course. But when we do our ishtadlus, realize that Hashem will fill it in. If you believe and you trust in Hashem.
Well, then why did they have a famine in Israel if Israel was there? Why a famine in Israel if Yaakov was there?
Oh, so really, there's a school of thought that says that there really wasn't the famine for Yaakov, But Yaakov didn't want it to be that everyone would see. That Yaakov didn't want it to be that everyone would see that, oh, he has food.
Yeah.
Because if you have Torah, you have food. Right? Torah gives you food, right? But Yaakov didn't want his neighbors to see. Yaakov was always worried about the neighbors. That's why Shechem, right? But Yaakov wasn't worried. So if we're eating, we have nice bread, and they smell our bread baking, right? Okay, where did they get the bread from? Right, and then so therefore Yaakov said, "I want to be like everybody else. So go get some kemach, right?" B'liticha k'maya maraglim shalei haminu b'Hashem yizbarach v'yiten lahem eretz Yisrael shu mekor v'habrochas b'loi derech hateva klal. Right, the same way the maraglim didn't want to believe that Hashem says, "I'm going to give you Eretz Yisrael." It's not the derech hateva. They were looking at it, they were big giants, right? They were giants, and everything was so big, and they saw everyone was dying, and all of this. So they thought, by derech hateva, we can't do this. In a natural way, we can't do this. But we know everything in Eretz Yisrael is above nature, right? Even today, when we fight our wars, they're not within nature. Right? It doesn't make any sense. Is it true? Or not true?
Yeah, no, it doesn't. In fact, there's a clip going around where a Rav, his name is Uri Tolachitsky, he was basically talking more in detail about this last 2 years, the beepers and the pagers, and about how much went into making that happen, how it's mamish and miracles, and it's really an outward miracle.
No, the miracle is that it all worked.
And that it all worked.
They did their ishtadlus.
And not one, Kayal was killed.
Amazing.
He said they were expecting 100,000 deaths. Hospital from Iran. They called all the Shamgar and and they told them, get the fridges ready.
Right. Right. Yes.
And we know it's 100. That's a lot, but it's worth it. This is what we got to do.
And
I know it's a miracle.
Our enemies, they can't figure it out.
Figure it out. And not only that, he said
they invested so much money. Yossi, they really invested a lot of money in that, right?
Yeah, they invested in America and Lockheed Martin.
Yeah.
They make the planes, and they say for every half hour in the air, it needs 4 or 8 hours of maintenance. These planes.
Yeah, because
what these machines do.
And they all worked. And
so they said, listen, we have to take the whole fleet. We mamish need all of our planes to go and fly to Iran. 250 planes. We mamish every single one. And they know, statistically, they know that 8% aren't coming back. There's going to be a mechanical problem. There's going to be something.
Some will fall down,
some
right?
Fall down, meaning it's not.
And they were refueling them They were refueling them up there too, right?
They had the guys that made the planes for the Americans, like saying this is just what it is. We know this. You can't. It doesn't work. We know this. We tested it. It's clear.
Right.
8% are gone.
Right.
It'll be 6% maybe, but for sure there's a. I know. So he says now. They're looking at they're rebuilding all their thoughts, saying it doesn't make sense to us because we.
No, they're sending Israel a new bill now. We gave you better planes than we thought you gave.
It turns out, right. Well, or
we gave you better planes. You owe us more money.
Or how come they work so well for you?
Yeah.
But
not for us.
Not for us and the rest of the
Yeah.
Well, also Israel modified them.
Of course. It's all Hashem. It's all Hashem.
In this land, they try. The people that were here, the Crusaders that were here, and then even
they try to grow something. Nothing
grows.
grows.
Everything you go to, you pick something. There's fruits growing everywhere here. Everywhere.
Yes, it's l'malam min hateva.
They said they try to forget this place.
It's desert land.
They said it's thorns. Forget it. They did that all these other nations. They said we want nothing to do with it. I can't make the place.
And they don't understand it. They can't understand it. No, but that was the whole thing with the Meraglim. They were looking at it naturally, like the Crusade. You can't grow things. It's not going to work. This is not going to work. But they didn't realize that, wait a second, Hashem said, I'm giving it to you. So Hashem can do anything he wants. V'haraya, look today. Okay. Es ha'oretz v'lichvoish eretz Yisrael mikor habrocha al pi derech hateva. Also, but Eretz Yisrael is the source of blessing. But we have to take the land in a natural way. But it's not nothing natural about this land. The same way like the Oivdei Kechavim, the idol worship, they send their people and they say, well, listen, idol worshippers don't get anything above nature. They do everything within the confines of nature. And it doesn't work. But we should have believed that Hashem said, I'm giving you Eretz Yisrael. Why do we have to even send the spies? What was the point of sending the spies? Hashem said, I'm giving you the land. Why do you have to send the spies for?
They didn't trust
The people.
Those same thing today. Those guys that are so immersed in their lust for more money, and they put themselves in big sakonas. They go to crazy places. They go to places that's very dangerous to make money. But we should believe Hashem can't give us our money home. I have to go elsewhere. Guys go to China, they go to Hong Kong, they go to Thailand, they go to all these places. Right?
There's something like 50,000 Israelis working in Germany.
They're working in Germany?
Going to Germany for NASA.
Okay, all right. Nimsa shameshukim b'mama nikroyim meraglim. Anyone that's immersed in their taiva of mammon, they're also called meraglim. Ki be'emes ikar pagam taivas mammon nimshal pagam meraglim shu pagam eretz Yisrael. B'zeh Vayihi miketz shenasayim yamim hainu bechinas pagam taivas mammon nimshal pagam meraglim shnemahem yoyim lashana yoyim lashana. Pharaoh had his dream and he was standing on the yar, on the water, right? Pharaoh, of course, is involved in the taiva moment, right? That's Pharaoh. He wants more and more. Ki taiva moment who avodah zarah, because taiva's moment is avodah zarah. That's why they write on the dollar, "In God we trust," right? Because it's an avodah zarah, right? That's their God. The dollar, the mighty dollar, is the God, right? Rabbi Seiden's Levrach B'Tayvet Tzivisi Tzedek Vika Avodah Zarah Hu Tayvis Mama Nimshal Michet Egel She'Asu Lehem Elekei Zav. And where did it come from? From the Egel that they made themselves a god from gold. Elehazav, right? Elehazav, right. Shu Bechinas Tayvis Mammon. That's an idea of Tayvis Mammon. Ki gam chet hameraglim nimshach mechet egel she'oz chazru umashchu hayetzahara aleim, because they were just so involved and the Yetzirah was so embedded in them. Kamei shamar seines chanavracha kamei perish Rashi shegezeras ha'arba shana hayu b'midbar nigzar kfar mechet egel. Really, the 40 years that we have to be in the desert, it was Yom Lashana from the Raglim, but Chazal tell us that it was really instituted at the time of the Chet of the Egel, when we made the golden calf. The whole idea of the Pagam of the Meraglim and the Egel is really one of the same. Again, not trusting in Hashem. Right? The Meraglim didn't trust in Hashem. Of course, when you have an Avodah Zarah, you make an ego, you're not trusting in Hashem. All of this is actually Taivas Mammon. Can we finish this piece today? Yeah. Should we go further? We go a little further? Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay, good. Baalkei Nikra Parai Lashon Parai. He's called Lashon Ki Parai Aharon l'shimtza. What does that mean? Never be'egel shehu avodah zara shel taivas mammon. That's the avodah of taivas mammon. Gam nikra hameshuka b'mammon parei miloshen peiroin hameshuka b'taivas mammon bal choiv tamid v'tamid tarid l'shalem peiroin. Someone is always taking loans. They're always worried about how they're going to pay back their loans. Right, parai is like pay run. Right, he has to make his payment. He has to always constantly make the payment. Kinira b'chush roy v'ashirim chayeyem einam chayem meiriboy hapeiron shelahem. The wealthy ones they're not so well. They don't really have a life because they always constantly have to come up with more money. Right. You see this now, Mamish. I see this now in the real estate business in America. It's amazing. The guys, because of the different things going on, these guys that had so much money, they would take loans and loans and loans on the building to buy more, but now they're not making their money. They're all these wealthy people that own building all these buildings. Some of them don't have money to buy food. Literally. Some of them now are on Tamchei Shabbos. They're getting, what? I'm not joking.
Like these guys are, they always
I know, yeah. Yossi, it's
the moment the interest rates change or drop.
Yossi, I'm telling you, it's not what you think it is.
Really
Yossi, it's not what it was. It's not what it was.
It just happened to the Schottenstein family in Columbus, Ohio.
What happened to them?
It all folded.
No way.
Oh yeah, so all their stores are shutting down. And it's because of real estate. They had tons of they were very involved.
Yeah, Value City, all that.
All done.
Interesting.
All done.
Yossi, there's a lot of stuff going on you don't realize. This is mamish true. The wealthy people, they're always worried, how am I going to make my payments?
Right. And they're juggling it, and they're pulling it from here, and
They're worried all day, and it's amazing. Ve'ein lahem chaye shah madregas peiran b'choles. What? You have to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Zeh parei choylem v'hinei oimed ala ya'ar mitzrayim hu gilus. What? Nilus, right? The Nilus, right? Shahaya Parei Oisa Avodah Zarah, because Parei made the Nile into Avodah Zarah. We know that, right? Because the Nile would overflow and would water all of their fields. All of the fields were around the Nile River. They would overflow, water the fields, and then they would get a lot of everything would grow. Everything would grow. That was Parei's motto. My power with my God, the Nile. That's how I have everything. So the same way Parei made the Nile into a god. Ki Nilus haya oila umeshuka es kol eretz Mitzrayim, because the Nile would go up like we said. And it would water, it would irrigate. I guess you would say it would irrigate the entire land, correct? It would irrigate the entire land. The Chol Tuv Mitzrayim, Me'anilis, and all the goodness of Mitzrayim was from the Nile. Also, that's our God. We have to worship the Nile. He's the God. He's giving us our parnasa. Because Parei certainly didn't believe that the bracha and wealth is coming from Hashem, right? It sounds silly, but there's a lot of Jewish people, we don't believe that either. The moment is an avodah zarah to him. The money. People do that. They make their money, their avodah zarah is like their money. Kilu koicha v'aitzim yodei osas hachoyla zeh chas v'sholem. V'zeh Hine min hayar oiloi sheva parais toivos v'sheva parais rois. And that's why from the river, by the yar, came up these 7 healthy cows and these 7 emaciated cows. Uvolu parais rois is a tovis, and the emaciated cows ate up the healthy cows. Shu remes sharad da'ainu taivus moment shu bechina shevish nei arav by Leah as kol ashiras. The famine, the years of famine can overtake and overpower all of the wealth. And like we gave you the example, people had so much money and everything. Now they have this thing, and all of their wealth is all forgotten. They ate the cows up, and they couldn't even they couldn't realize that they ate anything because they ate the scrawny cows ate up the big cows, but they couldn't tell that they ate them. As if they were impoverished, and that's how people are. They have so much, but I need more. The guy needs more. It's like and if he loses a little bit of money, I'm poor now. He has millions of dollars left, but I'm poor. I lost $1 million. But you have $10 more million. But I lost $1 million. He's poor, right? Right? People are like that, correct?
It's interesting. One of the big diseases of the rich is anorexia.
They can't afford to buy themselves food, right?
Well, they don't. They emaciate themselves.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
They can't, because if they buy food, they're going to have less money.
It's not just, but it's a whole. Yeah. Buying food, eating food.
Yeah, I can't eat. I can't take time to eat. I have to make more money.
Well, yeah.
Oy vey, it's well, okay. V'chol zeh ef shel sakin ela yidei Yosef. All this can only be fixed if we connect ourselves to the tzaddik. Bechinas Yosef, bechinas tzaddik ha'emes, the true tzaddik, Yosef tzaddik, shehu noised eitza laharbais b'tzedakah shayidei zeh mesaknin taivus mamim v'zoichen lahamshach shefa kfula me'eretz Yisrael. Yosef teaches us, taught Pharaoh, you got to give tzedakah. You got to give tzedakah, and that's how you get the blessing of the double blessing of Eretz Yisrael. How do you like that? It's amazing. And that's what the tzaddikim are teaching us. And if a person has wealth and they want to keep their wealth, what do they need to do? They need to make sure to put some offer into their wealth. What's offer? Impoverished people. Give your money to impoverished people. Giving your money to impoverished people is what's going to help save. Is what's going to help save your money. It preserves your money. Maser shehud tzedakah, giving maser, which is tzedakah v'chanuni no bezois. What's that? What did you say, Joel?
Hashem is testing you.
He is testing, of course. Hashem says if you give the tzedakah, the one thing Hashem says you can test me in is with tzedakah, right? But Hashem says, give tzedakah, I'll make you money. What? Right, you give money, Hashem, I'll give you more money back. Hayna bechina shefek full bechina tikkun taivus v'mazeh yaseh parei v'yafkei pekidim v'chimesh k'mavayeh zeh ela be'heitev. Now we understand why Pharaoh used the lashon that he said v'chimesh, because again the tzedakah we give is a fifth, and that's why Pharaoh used the same lashon as v'chimesh. Unbelievable. So the takeaway from this lesson is, to understand that no matter what, if you have das, you won't be lacking anything. Because then you'll realize everything that you have was given to you via Hashem. When you realize everything that you have was given to you via Hashem, you'll be able to give the tzedakah. Because it wasn't what I made. Hashem gave it to me. So if it's not mine, I can give. Right? I can give someone else's money. What's the big deal? This is Hashem's money. Why can't I give it? It's amazing. And if you give the money, that protects the money that you have, because you give offer into your shiras, into your wealth. Then you'll always be protected, and realize that no matter if a person has taivus mammon, the same way the 7 healthy cows were overtaken and we're eaten, we're consumed by the emaciated cows, that's the person's wealth if a person has taivas mammon. Okay, so that's our lesson for today. We'll continue Me'etz Hashem tomorrow with Chaf. And now we're starting a new chapter in Likutey, in Kitzur Shulchan Aruch. We're going to be learning now, what?
Because of tzedakah, you can actually get wealthy by giving tzedakah because Hashem guarantees you.
Yes,
He
that
gives
we
you
said
more
it,
than
yes.
you gave. It's like the real key to wealth is giving tzedakah.
Amen.
Hey, I wish I knew that one a long time ago.
You what?
Wish I knew that a long time ago.
Okay, but now you know it, so that's good. Okay, today we're starting lesson Lamed. We're in the Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, so Siman Lamed, which is Isser Rechilas Lashon Hara, Nekama, and Netira. So we're going to learn these very, very, very important laws. Very important laws. So let's start here today with Siyata Deshmaya. So it's Siman Lamed, Sifkat and Aleph 1. Le Selech Rachel Ba'amecha. Okay, so a person shouldn't go, literally it means to peddle. You shouldn't be peddling words. Don't go like a peddler peddling your words. Ezer Rachel, Zeh shetayin devar v'haylech mizel lezeh v'aymer. Kach amaploini, like the way a peddler, a merchant goes from one place to the other. And they talk about their where. So this guy goes and says, I have this to tell you, I have this to tell you. Kach v'kach shamati al ploini, I heard this and this about this guy. You know, people do that, unfortunately, right? Afal pi shuhu emes v'gam ein loy b'genus. Even though what you're saying is true, and you're not disparaging the guy. You're saying something true, and something that's not even bad. It's not a genus. It's not disparaging. Harei zeh oive belav. He's oive belav. Behu oven gadol v'goyrim lahareg nefoshes Yisrael nafshes Yisrael, and that causes Jews to be killed. So we have people that are being murdered in the Klal Yisrael. Why? Could be because of this. Could be because of this. All the people that are being murdered because we're not careful what we say. Is that amazing? Right? Isn't that amazing? You know, I'll just say like this. You know, Yosef HaTzadik, we were just talking about Yosef. He came to his father and he said the Deborah on his brothers. Right? The Torah tells us that. That's what we could say it. The Torah says that. So the Chavetz Chaim says on that because he spoke Lashon Hara on his 10 brothers, he spoke Lashon Hara?
10 years.
10 years. He got 10 years, 1 year, because he said, why? Why is the Chavetz Chaim saying? We know that the Rasha gets 12 months in Gehenna. Right? The Rasha gets 12 months in hell. Full 12 months. Right? So he says that being in that prison, in that dungeon, in Mitzrayim, was like being in hell, literally. So you have to be there entire year for every word, because he spoke about the 10 brothers. Could you imagine that? 10 years in hell because he spoke. Could you imagine what it is to just say words? We think, we learn that, you know, they tell us when we're kids, sticks and stones will break our bones, but names will never harm us. But that's not true. That's not true. Lekach nismach loy leisamed al dam reyecha. Therefore, it's close. It says leisamed al dam reyecha. Don't stand by where people are being murdered, right? Al dam reyecha. Save lemad ma era ledoyeg hadoimi. Shama l'shoyel ki Achimelech nosan leDavid seida v'cherev. So here we had this guy Doyeg, right? Doyeg was the Adayim, right? Shama l'shoyel. He said to Shaul, ki Achimelech nosan leDavid seida v'cherev. He told Shaul that Achimelech gave David some provisions and he gave him a sword. Even though what he said was true, he came to tell Shaul that Achimelech gave to David a sword and then provisions. It wasn't. He wasn't saying anything bad. Achimelech didn't do anything bad, right? It wasn't a genus. right? Hare lo yasa b'zeh shum ma'aser ra. He didn't do anything bad. He gave him food. He gave the guy, he gave someone food, that's good. He gave him a sword, right? Okay. V'gam im Shaul ba'atzma yoya shoya l'Achimelech. If Shaul would have asked Achimelech, hoya mashu asa, he would have told him. You hear the case? You see what's going on? So we think it's only talking about bad. But this is even just talking about what someone did. He didn't do anything bad. He gave him provisions, and he was just telling over what he did. Why do you have to say that for? We don't realize it. We don't realize this. He's teaching us here how important this is to limit our speech. Because you don't realize the words we're saying, we think we're saying something good, but that's really a problem. He wasn't trying to make anything bad against the Shaul, right? Im kol zeh garma harachilus shel doyeg shenergu kama kahanim. Because of this, many kahanim were killed. Because what? Many, I said many kahanim were killed because of what he said, and even though he didn't mean to do anything wrong. So Halachos kama v'kama if the person's trying to say something wrong. You understand? All right, we're going to learn a lot more about this. And if anyone ever learned, what do you call it, any of the svarim from the Chafetz Chaim, okay, so you could know that there's a lot of things here to learn about. Okay, everyone should have a wonderful day. We should all hear Besorah Tovot and Kol Tov. Thank you for joining.